right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Project Bring Me Life podcast. Before we start the show, we're just going to do a short little meditation. So, Ashton, whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. I want to invite you to close your eyes. Begin to focus on your breath. Bring your awareness into the present moment and into your body. Center yourself into your heart space.
The Project Bring Me Life podcast. Before we start the show, we're just going to
Simply allow all that arises to come up and to fade away. Having no judgments or nothing to say about anything, just simply pure being. Ground your energy all the way down to your feet. Feel your energy pour and slide into the earth down below you. Anchoring your consciousness, anchoring your soul light into the present now moment. All there is all you have. And all you need is here. Allow the energy to pulse and reverberate throughout your body and energy field. Continue to hold space for all that arises and simply allow. This is your natural state of being. Breathe in deep once again, all the way through your stomach. Hold that breath. And as you release, you can open your eyes, wiggle your hands and your toes, and welcome to Project Bring Me to Life.
Woohoo! Thank you, Ashton.
Mm-hmm.
That was good to have Ashton do the meditations. He just started a new project called Clouds. And what is that, on SoundCloud?
Yeah, it's I think it's just Clouds, SoundCloud.com/Clouds Music, maybe.
Okay.
CLOUDZ.
Great. And yeah, he had some great meditation music on there. So thank you for that, Ashton.
Yeah,
And
Clouds Music.
Clouds music. Okay, great. And so, as you can see, today is the Project Bring Me Life podcast. We're talking about bridging science and spirituality, and our guest is Liz Cox. Liz, welcome to the show.
Hi, Suleiman. Hello, Project Bring Me to Life. I'm very grateful to be here. Yeah, and to see all of you.
Definitely. It's definitely an honor to have you again. It's
yeah,
second podcast this time.
Indeed.
Yep. And the first one was actually the fourth podcast that we did.
Before I was a co-host.
Before Shannon here was the co-host. So it's been a while, and last we knew you were doing the yeah. And how did the Resonate event go for you?
Resonate was awesome. It's the beginning. So I want to just start actually by taking off these things. I refer to the mask as a belief system. So I'll just take my BS and put it over here and actually see you with clarity. Resonate was fantastic. We had an amazing group of souls come together, and we're going to do it again. We're going to continue to do it, and it's going to continue to get better and better, and I'm excited about it, and we enjoyed the time and the space together, and everybody was fully present, and all the feedback was good, and yeah, it was fantastic. I wish you could have been there.
Yeah.
And yeah, next time.
For sure.
There will be many more.
I surely hope so. And that's going to be October 3rd again?
Yeah. Yeah, that's our date this year.
Wonderful. Beautiful. And so today we are here to talk about bridging science and spirituality. Before we got into that, did you just want to give a little quick description about who you are, where you come from, and what your purpose is?
Right. Who I am, I like to just respond to that question with I am. Right? That's I am, period. And where I come from, some bizarre other dimension, who knows where? No, I'm not going to give an alien answer to that. But being that we're all infinite beings, in this sojourn, I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. I was born in New York, actually Manhattan. And what my purpose is still an ever growing, expanding, accelerating discovery, and staying, as Ashton said in our initial meditation, and just staying in the heart, you know. So my purpose right now, to bring a real practical answer to that, would be to work as hard as I can to bring more love and less suffering to the world, in a very entertaining way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that's
I like to say bring the spiritual down into physical manifestation is another way to put that.
All right. And your passion, as you described it, is ignited by exploring the bridge between science and spirituality. And
Indeed.
how did you first become interested in this topic?
Well, physics. Physics and science were my home, and actually in school and college, meteorology. But you know, how did I first become interested? I think it was natural. I came from a very spiritual, Christian-based home, and so I always had an undercurrent of the omnipresent love and that unconditional flow. Like in my home, I was very lucky to have that. I did, well, I'm not going to go to the church, but I had a lot of wisdom and insight planted already within me through my upbringing, and so going beyond that into science in school, I did a physics thesis. I don't know if we talked about this on the last podcast, but I did a thesis that basically started with the question of why is the sky blue? And the answer was, it's not. And that set a roller coaster. It was like an expanding, like, so that was one of the key elements that I went, okay, I need to know more. What is this quantum physics? What is this? You know, you know, the math. I would do pages and pages, like 10 pages of math, just to come to the answer that the science had to have consciousness. Like, it doesn't work without consciousness. It's like the glue, the space between things, because everything's always moving around and changing. So initially, school. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was doing some research a little bit on trying to prepare for the podcast, and I was watching videos on quantum physics, and it's very it's very different from the classic sort of philosophy that we all grew up with, and they just said that, you know, we had these ideas that we thought we knew everything, and then all of a sudden quantum physics comes and kind of like pulls the rug out from underneath of us, and it's just such a I hardly even know where to start because it's such an interesting topic and it seems so vast. But Yeah, I think it's a very wonderful topic that you wanted to talk about. Could you please describe a few key points that you have found through all your research linking science and spirituality?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a physicist named Nassim Haramein
Yes.
and his work on the unified field theory?
Hmm.
This is a key, I think, human being on the planet right now to the, I guess, fall of modern science. Because I don't think, personally, I don't think the science that we have had in the past is working for us anymore. It doesn't describe what's happening to, with, for, through people. And so a key point would be the unified field theory and everything being structured essentially from the space of consciousness. And that consciousness is, in fact, like you can't remove it. You can't take spirituality and science and separate them from where I'm coming from, because we're all one, right? So if we're all one, and there's individual soul representations that call themselves Suleiman, that call themselves Liz, that call themselves whatever, we have individual everything. And at the same time, we are all connected all the time. So a key point, what other key points? Yogananda comes to mind, bringing yoga to the West. Have you seen his movie Awake? That's another key point. I guess in key points, I'm understanding your question to be like what can I use to bridge that gap? Because you are that bridge. You are that bridge. You are the guru now. So visualize healing. Visualize anything that you want to visualize. And you can bring that to you. You want to feel the unconditional love of a rose quartz, bring it up. Bring it up through your feet. Meditate on it. You want some chocolate cake? Bring it in. What does that cake taste like? What does it taste like? Just you can do anything that you want to, because we're essentially parts of the one, right? It's in you, it's in everyone, all around us, all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Would you say the law of attraction falls under something that is explained by quantum physics?
Sure. Yeah. But the law of attraction, the law of attraction, yes, I think would be, and it's also a lot of thinking, and when you're efforting, that's not actually it. And something will happen where you come back to your flow. You know what I mean? So, does that answer your question? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was also, you're talking about how we do have those like sort of I am Suleiman and Liz and whatever separate. What do you think the importance of experiencing separation is?
Wow. I think if we knew that, wouldn't we all go to where we're all going? Like, wouldn't we just be there, if we knew that? Because we all get to go there together. We all get to go to that space of pretty much, the understanding of the cosmos in a much more clear way, and using our heart fields to communicate without necessarily using words. Like, I can have a dream and call you in, and the next day you call me and you're like, oh, I just dreamed about you. The synchronicities that show us that so let's go back to the law of attraction for a second, because it brings up the point of desire or needs or wants. And that's why I went to being free from thought, because thought, of course, is important. We have to have them, but the thought needs to come from the heart, and then the brain is a tool that you use to achieve whatever the heart is needing, right? And and you don't always know what it is, because that's a thought, right? So the law of attraction, it's like this. It's kind of a yin yang, or a cyclical understanding. But if you're wanting chocolate cake, for example, and it's not exactly what you need, the universe will give you what you need. You just have to allow it to come in and accept it when it comes in the form of honey or something. It's like, that sweetness that I wanted, that vibe that I wanted. So the law of attraction, yeah, you can intend on things, but then when it shows up and it's not exactly what you wanted, you have to be able to be open and willing to receive, and then to give back to the universe, like, yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think gratitude is very important, especially because it's like if you give something to somebody and it's like you spent so much time for it, and they just kind of like they were expecting you to give it to them, and then they don't show gratitude, or it just feels not very good. It feels kind of poopy. So to have someone show gratitude towards you, it's like a gift. They're giving a gift back to you. So if people are trying to manifest, having that gratitude is super key, super key. I'm glad you brought that up.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Were you going to say something?
Oh no, I was thinking on the fact of how, like, the feeling you get when you give somebody something and they're excited about it, it just like, it's like a frequency that just pings off, and I think that really goes with the law of attraction, because you're giving the gratitude out. It's like a mutual feeling on both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's sacred reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
The word of the day, guys.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Reciprocity.
I like it.
Cool. So, on to the next question that I have. I believe everybody knows that science and religion don't really get along the best. It seems that, at least from my experience, people are people in the science community talk about evolution, and if you mention evolution in a church, people kind of they get really, I don't know, they get really
They
scared.
just get real tensed up.
They get really tensed up, and so
things start happening.
They do start happening. So through your research or any of your experiences, do you believe that these two communities can one day come together and sort of share belief systems?
The optimist in me is like, of course they can, but again, they would have to take off this.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work there, and who's to say that the omnipresent, creator that's governing all that didn't set that up on purpose? I mean, who's allowing that to occur anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I feel like they, when you're talking about religion, I mean, people spend their whole lives, doing practices and tools, and unfortunately, from my perspective, they're working a bit too hard. Yes, you can, evolve, and that's the intention, but then, going within is important. Going within, they'll find everything that they need. Practice and discipline, those are real things. Those are important things. I'm not saying don't do those. What I am saying is that if they go with one direction, then that's their path and that's their freedom to choose. So yeah, hopefully one day those, both religion and science will marry, because from my vantage point, they're all very happily married already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, spirituality and science and religion is it's its own thing. That's not, I don't know. it's it's not my thing. Um, just love, as long as they're in the space of love, it doesn't really matter the modality that they're using.
Yeah, and you say you come to the conclusion after everything that everything just comes down to one thing, which is love.
Yes.
So, would you say that even some perceived negative experiences would be experiences that are for love?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're saying, well, okay, well, the, this response comes from my newest client, Dale Allen Hoffman. I don't know if you've heard of Dale Allen Hoffman. He does toning in Aramaic. He's fabulous. He was one of my headliners for Resonate last year and will be for this year as well. But sorry, I forgot the question that got me onto Dale. What did you ask me? I apologize. Oh, God.
So he does Arabic?
Aramaic.
Or Aramaic.
Yeah. What did you ask me, though? Because I was on a tangent. I was on something.
He probably doesn't remember.
Hey. No, it's kind of true, yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Awesome. I remember. How about that? Okay, so you were talking about, negative experiences or being made of love. Okay. Yeah. So the only reason, this comes from Dale, the only reason that something is considered dark is because we haven't brought light to it yet. And it is as valuable as the light. Right? So let's say that light in this case is love, right? Well, the dark is also love. That's going back to the Taoist, yin-yang symbol of balance, right? There has to be balance. And he says, as things, we asked for higher vibrations. We asked for more light. We asked for all of these things to come in. We're receiving those things. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's fantastic what we can do. What we're capable of as a species in a unified field. And we're noticing that it's bringing light to the darker places. And as you personally, for example, are expanding and you're like, oh my God, this is dark, or oh my, how did I not see that before in myself? And it's because of that accelerated rate of expansion that all of a sudden that light is like, oh, I can see the dust in the corners. I can see the darker parts of myself. And then you have the opportunity to, just shine light right into it. And it immediately transmutes, transforms, makes room for other things.
Do you think we go through those dark experiences in part to be more grateful for when we do come back into the light?
Sure. Yeah. That's still a separateness. There's still a separateness there with that question. Because it is the light. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is a negative experience and I'm contracting. And then you allow yourself to contract and get into the fear, the doubt, the worry, the concern, this is all contracting. But when you look at that and go, okay, I accept and I release and I surrender and I love, and it expands, right? But you have to go through the contractions to find value in that paradox, to find value afterwards. So So of course, being more grateful, yeah, sure. I mean, everybody goes through suffering and they go through dark times. And I have, at least from my experience, um, every time that's occurred for me, I'm always brighter on the other side. And that might be in the vibration of love. It could be in gratitude. It could be in joy and peace and, all of the blessings that come with hindsight. Is essentially what you're talking about.
What is there any specific thing that helps you get through some of those times where you don't feel?
Yeah, breathing. Breathing is the number one go-to in those moments. Yeah, there's nothing better, actually, just the breath.
What do you think it is about focusing on a breath that sort of chills us out?
Let's just take a second. I think it's the non-thought. I think it's the fact that you shut down the monkey mind. Yeah.
What purpose does the monkey mind serve in our experience?
Well, it's the transmission of information, right? So your ego, which grounds the soul in the body, right? Its function is to make things happen, right? So if we're coming from the heart space first, then the monkey mind goes, oh, this is the action I should take. This is the choice I should make. This is the next step. What's next, right? Like, oh, I'll go really simple with I'm thirsty. Like, okay, well, I'm going to go get some water. But then the monkey mind, the actual chatterbox, that's not, you can get very unproductive and nothing gets done if you let it chatter. Mm-hmm. But if you're using it from a source consciousness place, from your inner guru, then its functionality is to get you to the next step so that you can continue to grow more love in the world.
So you use the breath to sort of get back to your guru self, connect with your heart, and then let that sort of lead your mind to create the experiences.
Yeah, well, it's subtle. It's a subtle experience, at least from my point of view. I mean, sometimes intuitive flashes come, and I'm open to receiving those. And I think really listening to the conversation between your heart and my heart, and other people that you meet, everyone's hearts are making these fields, and it's subtle what those fields will tell you. And it's important to watch it like a movie screen without judgment or attachment, just like, oh, this person is experiencing grief, or this person is experiencing lust, and they didn't actually tell me that. It's just what their field is putting out because I can feel them, right? Sometimes that's for you to take action, and sometimes it's for you to just sit with, and to be honest, I'm still discerning which one that is, for me at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was watching this video about a study they're doing about the heart and the mind, and I believe earlier in our history, civilized history, we believe that the brain created more magnetics, maybe that's the word I'm looking for, but it showed through their study that the heart generated more effect on reality, or just it had much more. I'm trying to think of the word and I can't because I'm on the spot right now. But something in the magnetics of our heart was much more powerful than our brains, which was sort of new to the science community.
Like your chi or your frequency, for sure. What your heart's emitting.
Yeah, the pulses.
It's so powerful. It's so powerful. Absolutely. I heard the other day from a guy named Apollo who does the Resonance Project with Nassim Haramein, and he was doing a little film online and said that your heart could emit frequencies up to 50 yards away, which I thought was interesting from a scientific perspective. That I'm applying that to, because my response was, well, my heart can reach like across, galaxies. Like, what are you talking about? I can meditate and go supernova somewhere, and so it's really infinite. But I think on a physical level is what he was referring to, is like this 50-yard thing. I was like, cool. That's half a football field.
Yeah. So we do have time for a few more questions, and then if it's all right, we'll go to the audience, see if they have any questions for you.
Fun.
So, is there anything that we missed that you did want to cover during the interview?
Well, I'd love to just spend a second on the Open to the One series, which is a series of events that I'm doing at the Altamont Theater. I don't know if you have any people that watch in Asheville, but we're doing a series of events every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Altamont Theater. One is a toning. This is all based actually with the same theory of Resonate, and as Resonate is growing, it's all based in sound, and sound is one of the manifestations of divine, and using sound in bringing our awarenesses in a collective state of consciousness all at the same time to be in our heart centered. And so there's chakra toning yoga, there's Aramaic toning from Deo, there's Calling You Home, Colin Martin, who is a conscious musician. He's very likened to Trevor Hall. And then we're doing a kirtan. So we're chanting, and there's going to be cacao. And you know me, Silaman, I can't stop doing events. I will never stop doing events for consciousness, ever, ever, ever. So, yeah.
I'm very, very, very honored to be sharing space with you. And just seeing everything you're doing is very motivating, it's very inspiring, and just very. I'm so happy that you're on the podcast with us again today.
Yay! I'm so happy to be on the podcast, and Silaman, that is received and reflected, because we couldn't do it without you.
Oh.
It's always nice to have return guests.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for this on the regular. Actually, I think it's great.
Yeah, this is actually the third time I've interviewed you.
Is it the third time?
Yeah, Emergence Earth.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's right. We did that on the phone, though, right? We didn't do that on a Google Hangout.
Yeah, that was on the phone. I've come a long way.
Yeah, it's been a journey. One of these days, I'm gonna hug you in person.
Yeah. You actually gave me and Zenora a ride when my foot was hurt at 3DL.
The 2013. That's right. That's right. But we hadn't done what we've done. We weren't where we are now.
Yeah, exactly.
And wow, what a magical experience that was.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Really, super supportive. And not the foot. Your foot was not magical at all. 3 days of light was magical.
I mean, it did help me get to Detroit faster. Because I did have a job before that, and then my foot got hurt, and I couldn't go to work for a few weeks, and I ended up just moving to Detroit. And so I didn't go back to work right after 3DL. I was just like, I was never again. But
wow, what a great story. Well, I'm glad to be continuing into this now moment, and I'll share with you that I actually had 2 friends that I made at 3 Days of Light that helped me do some of the art for the stage, and volunteered, actually landed here in my house and are my new housemates. So those connections continue to thrive in my life, and I'm grateful for all of them.
Definitely. So, Open to the One, that's a beautiful title. I love that. I can't wait for everybody to be open to the one.
Yes! Yeah, I'm so glad you get it. You get it. You get it.
And,
Love
and
it. Yeah.
so when is Open to the One? What is the date?
Oh, it's March 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th.
Okay, so every Wednesday of March.
Yeah. There it is.
Wonderful. You got your nice logo right there. We got that on our website.
Yeah, you do. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That just happened. I didn't plan for that to happen at all. The venue called me.
Yeah.
And so that I'm really grateful for. That was pretty special of them. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing great things in Asheville.
Yeah, apparently. Well, I'm trying. I'm doing the best that I can with every day. Have you seen these folks?
I read about them when I was checking out your website, but I haven't really. No.
Paradiso and Rasamayi. If you get a chance to listen to their music, this will take you up and out in a heart second. And he plays the world's largest crystal didgeridoo right there. I know we're oh wait, there we go.
Yep, there you go.
And that is a 24 karat gold bowl. She plays the crystal gem infused alchemy singing bowls. Third Eye Rising won for 2012 and Attuning to Oneness here won Best New Age Album of the Year for 2013. So that right there is the basis of the now nationwide Ask Lizzie network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. That is so cool. You're doing such a good job.
No, yeah, you are doing a great job, but I couldn't help the shameless promo because this album, you got to listen to it. I'm gonna mail you a copy when we're done with this. Send me your address, your mailing address.
All right.
I will ship this copy to you. It is now yours. You
Oh.
win.
I read. That's amazing. Thank you for that's a great gift. I'm really excited.
You just said you need new music.
Yep.
Oh, ta-da! Manifested. See, that is the law of attraction.
Yes.
You have no idea how that was going to manifest, and then it does.
Awesome. Great. So let's move on to the audience questions.
We actually have one from Samantha, and her question is, what is your dream location to hold a series of conscious events? I think if
Whoa, what an awesome question. Oh my gosh, I think my first response is right here. I love Asheville so much. Well, in the States, I would have to say somewhere in Colorado, maybe like Telluride would be cool, or even Boulder. And then Sedona or Red Rocks. Red Rocks would be cool.
that would be
Red Rocks is actually a place I'm like planting seeds for 2020. So, yeah.
You're planning way ahead. I love it.
Yeah. See, I'm looking at the chat, and Samantha was wondering if.
You can tell the name of the album again?
Well, that, and she did ask what exactly is Resonate, and she's like, did she explain that already?
Well, Resonate is basically, I'll flip that question back to Samantha with, what do you resonate with? You know, people are always asking the question or saying like, oh, I resonate with that. You know, I resonate with that. Well, what is it that gets you to that fullest self-actualization, that full, true self-realization moment where you're like, I resonate with that? That is the purpose behind Resonate. And the purpose is also on a collective level to do it together in the same space. So the event that we produced last year was based in sound healing. So we had toning. We had these guys playing their music, which is Attuning to Oneness is the name of the album. And we had a bunch of amazing things going on. This year we're diving into some sacred geometry and also some bioengineering and some other really tangible kind of grounded aspects of both art and building. And then Also, some down the road, I'm definitely going to do a Resonate for kids, for children, for sure. But it just goes. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said that sounds really awesome. That's such a good idea too.
It's always a good idea to get the kids involved.
Yeah, future generations.
Absolutely. Well, and they're in a space where they don't have to work to remember who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is, for them to not forget, and to just keep them, with the tools in hand, with the frequency of unconditional love in that space, so that they don't have to work to remember like we do.
Mm-hmm. Great. Ashton, did you want to come on and ask Liz a question?
Sure. I guess, what is your personal favorite event that you've ever thrown, and why?
Resonate, because it was the first big one.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Why not?
Right.
Yeah, I think that experience remains to be seen, because it's like every now moment is different. But so the events, I have attended a lot of events, and always diving into seeing. It doesn't matter if I'm at a Lotus show or if I'm at a Conscious Expo. I consistently see the place where it's cohesive, where we get there, where the door is open. And so that moment in any event makes it my favorite event.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too. I love that answer. I know exactly what you mean.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And Liz, if you didn't know, Ashton is his band name is Spaceship Earth, and you should definitely hook him up with some shows in Asheville because he's awesome.
That is awesome. That's the link that you sent to me before this link.
Was
and
it?
I was like, what's Spaceship Earth? This is what we're on, right? But yeah, so that's cool. I'd love to listen to your tunes.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to our music video.
Yeah.
We just started making music videos, so we got our first one done with Spaceship Earth.
We should put that up again today.
Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah. Sweet. How's the chat going?
Chilling.
Awesome. All right. Well, did you have a question specifically that you wanted to ask?
How long have you been throwing your events? I know you had Resonate last year, and you mentioned you were part of 3DL, I think, before.
Yep.
So, how long have you been actively throwing events or helping with events?
Yeah, October 2013. Like that 2013 3 Days of Light was the launch pad for me as a producer, as an independent, and as a co-creator on that level. I've helped with things before, but to be in actual in a leadership position, October 2013.
Nice. And you said that you're planting seeds for Red Rocks for 2020. Do you have any other plans or anything you'd like to try to manifest for yourself in the next 10 years?
Wow.
Just like a open, do you want to write a book? Do you want to throw a whole week festival? Just crazy you want to do.
That's awesome. I love that. If that's what the one wants from me, that's what I'll do. Right now, that 2020 is about as far out as I can envision for myself. I definitely do see Resonate here in Asheville becoming at least weekend, if not week-long event. And yeah, that's about as far as I could take it.
Sounds awesome.
Wonderful.
Look forward to being part of one of your future events.
Oh, yay! That's awesome. I actually, I was invited last week. It was brought to the table to do Resonate in the Northeast. So
You live in the north.
if that happens, and I can do it like maybe Four Corners or something. But yeah, I mean this.
Yeah, we got space in California for it, for sure.
Yeah.
A little bit on the opposite side, Ashton.
Okay. Bring it on.
Right?
Beautiful. Well, we've definitely enjoyed having you on the show again, Liz.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I love you.
Yeah, love you too.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there any last things that you wanted to say?
Well, do you have anything for me that's kind of lingering out there? I know that that we could actually, I'm feeling like start a series where we do podcasts on the regular that have very specific featured scientific and then very specific featured spiritual aspects that we could kind of play with. It might be really fun that could get like a following or, you know, some interest percolating. And the other little idea that I'm having now is there's a YouTube channel called Suspicious Observers, and the observers is a 0.
Yep.
He does 4 to 5 minute Earth space weather news. Do you know him? His name's Ben. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a really great tool, a resource, and it comes without any judgment. It's pure science every day. Yeah.
I used to watch him quite often. Every day he started out with 2 minute short little clips. He talked about the earthquakes and solar flares and pretty interesting things.
Yeah. Yeah. He corresponds activity in space around the sun to activity on the Earth. Like there was a sun diving comet the other day that as soon as it came in, there was this CME solar flare off the backside of the sun that if it had been Earth facing, we'd be dead. Like we would have been in an ice age like that instantaneously. Yeah. So I mean, like, and he covers it, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens frequently. You'd be surprised.
Definitely. So yeah, we would definitely be interested in doing a series and definitely be in contact about that.
Cool.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, that's a playful idea.
Yeah, for sure. You were the one who encouraged me to like do my own thing with podcasts, so I appreciate that encouragement too.
Yes, self-empowerment. Go seal them on.
Yeah, this podcast number 31.
Yeah. Getting there.
Wow, way to go.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So we're going to keep on going up, and we definitely are excited that people are taking part in the chat room and, you know, just getting a lot of response from our listeners and people who are wanting to become involved.
Sweet.
Very appreciative of that.
Exciting journey.
Yes, a very exciting journey, indeed. So again, Liz, thank you so much. You're so beautiful. So happy you're here with us on the podcast.
Thank you. I love you. You're beautiful too.
Right. Well, I believe, unless if you had anything else to say, I enjoyed our podcast, and yeah, nothing else to say except for namaste.
Namaste. Blessing. Inner peace to you.
Namaste.
Awesome. And so for everybody else, thank you, audience, for taking part in watching. And if you do have any ideas of who you want to see on the podcast or anything you want to see on the round table, anything like that, please send us an email or message us on the chat room. You know, any way you can get a hold of us, please let us know, because we do listen, and we will, you know, use that and change some things around, and you'll see what you asked for happen.
It keeps happening slowly but surely.
Yes.
And if you have not subscribed and you're watching this, feel free to subscribe and enter yourself for a chance to win prizes, and tune in with us next week because we have a full week of podcasts.
We do, yeah. And we are giving away the chakra bracelet, which you made.
Yes, we have a chakra bracelet.
So sign up on the website, and next Monday will be our next podcast. So Monday will be Ariel, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Ariel Esterline. And then the rest of the week, until Thursday, we will have a full week of shows again.
Gonna be a fun week.
Yes, it will be. So again, thank you to all of our guests and all of our audience members and everybody else out in the world. We love you, and we can't wait to be here now. We're here now, so
D1.
Yes. We are open to the one. You should be open to the one. Everybody be open to the one. We love you. Have a great night. Namaste, everybody.
Woo!